Hello and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm Carleen and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm very new to this. I've recently started a content creation course, and one of the things that I've already learned is that if you want to get good at something, you've got to do it consistently. And the more you practice, the more those results will then compound. And that's exactly how I coach my ladies when it comes to their weight loss and feeling good in their bodies, because if we're being honest, weight loss probably has felt exhausting in the past, like a bit of an uphill battle, or like it's taken over your life. And that's not because you failed, but it's because you've been making it harder than it needs to be. So I work with busy mums, women who are running homes and juggling careers and keeping children alive and happy and putting themselves last. And the last thing that they need is another miserable diet or complicated plan that takes over their already jam-packed lives. So instead of all or nothing thinking and guilt and restriction, I help women build habits that compound into lasting results. Just like my YouTube video, this will not be perfect at the start, but every video that I put out builds on the last one. And before I know it, it's going to be better. I'm going to be more confident and I'm going to be helping more people. And that's the same for you. So maybe your first squat feels wobbly, maybe you hate the gym, but if you keep showing up, before long you will be walking into that weights area, you'll be putting a barbell on your back, you'll be absolutely smashing it. And that is the power of compounding. And these small consistent actions, they will all add up to big things. So feeling confident in your clothes again, having the energy to power through your day instead of surviving on caffeine, feeling strong enough to carry your kids and your shopping without worrying about your back giving in, feeling fit enough to run around after them at the park instead of just watching them from the bench. So today I want to share some of the exact tactics that I use with my clients, the things that make weight loss feel so much easier when life is busy. Tactic number one, the 2-minute rule. So if motivation feels impossible, stop aiming for an hour-long workout. Just tell yourself you are going to move for 2 minutes, and maybe it's walking around the kitchen, maybe it's just doing a few squats. Once you start, the chances are you will keep going. And even if you don't, you've still kept that promise to yourself. And that's how consistency is built. Tactic number two is automating those healthy choices. So decision fatigue is real, especially for mums. Between kids and work and life admin, you've already made 100 decisions about breakfast. And the less you leave to chance, the easier it's going to get. So double up on dinner so that tomorrow's lunch is sorted and you can have those leftovers. Prep some snack boxes so you're not grabbing biscuits out of the cupboard on autopilot when you get hungry. Have go-to balanced meals that you know everyone in the house will eat. So less thinking in the moment means that you are less likely to slip up. Tactic number three is plan for those cravings. So cutting out your favorite foods never works. It just leads to overeating later. So instead, make sure you are including them on purpose. And I always say to my ladies when I speak to them, they'll say, I really like a glass of wine in an evening or a bar of chocolate. And I will always say, include it then. Because if you don't, you are just going to end up binging on them. So if you love chocolate, plan a couple of squares into your day, or I always say get like the small, like the 4-packet chocolate bars, because they're proper chocolate bars, but they don't tend to be crazy high in calories. They're less than 200 calories. So plan that into your day so that come the end of the day, once the kids are in bed, you can sit down and enjoy your chocolate without needing to share it with anybody else, and it will fit into your day. If you want pizza, you're going out for pizza with a family and you want some pizza, have a couple of slices, but have a big side salad with it. So you are still getting that enjoyment. You're not going to feel super full. Two, three slices is more than enough to satisfy your tummy and is a decent meal. But order some salad, some vegetables with it, so it bulks that meal out and you are still eating the same as everyone else. Tactic number four is the feel good first question. So instead of asking, what do I want right now? Ask, what will make you feel good later? Will skipping that workout really help you, or are you going to regret skipping it? Will eating the whole share size bag of Maltesers leave you satisfied or bloated and guilty? The mindset shift stops you making decisions that you'll regret later on. Tactic number five is make snacking inconvenient. So mindless snacking adds up fast. So move snacks out of sight, keep them in the cupboard. We all know that if you have a packet of chocolate or biscuits or crisps on the side in the kitchen, every time you walk into the kitchen, you're going to grab some Haribo, whatever that is. And I am so guilty of that. Don't eat straight from the packet. Pour portion it out, and these little barriers will just make you stop and think rather than just eating on autopilot. Tactic number 6 is ditch the scale drama. Weight is going to fluctuate daily. Hormones, water retention, digestion, salt, carbs, they are all going to affect that number you see on the scale. So rather than obsessing over one number, look at your weekly average. So I would say track daily and then add them all together, divide them by 7, and that is your weight for the week rather than sort of looking at those fluctuations every day. Progress isn't about one weigh in, it's about that trend over time. Tactic number 7 is to stop starting again on Monday. And this is something I'm super passionate about. One bad meal at the weekend on a Friday night does not ruin your progress, but letting that spiral into a weekend binge because you've eaten something that you don't think you should have on Friday will. So don't hit that sod it button. Draw a line. Yes, maybe you had 2 extra slices of pizza that you weren't planning on having, but that's not the end of the world. Draw a line on that Friday night, and your very next meal, which is likely going to be Saturday morning, you go back and have your yogurt and granola for breakfast, or your protein pancakes or a protein shake or whatever that is with some fruit. We're not going to let it roll into then having an all day breakfast and then going to McDonald's for lunch, then we're going to have a takeaway for dinner, because that one meal on Friday did not ruin all your progress, but doing that on Saturday and again on Sunday absolutely will. Tactic number 8 is the 80-20 balance. And again, something that I go on and on about to all of the ladies that I work with. You do not need to eat clean 100% of the time. What we want to be doing is aiming for 80% of foods being nutrient dense. So you've got your protein, your fiber, your veggies, your healthy fats, your carbs. And then 20% is that flexibility. So that might be chocolate, that might be crisps, that might be wine, whatever it is you enjoy. So if you have 1,500 calories a day, for example, and you're in a deficit, that 20%, I'm doing some maths now while we're live, is going to be 300 calories a day. And so that 300 calories a day you can use for a bar of chocolate in the evening and a packet of crisps for your lunch, or a glass of wine in the evening and dessert after dinner with the kids, a cookie or something like that. So that balance is what makes weight loss sustainable, and you know that you're going to have foods that you can enjoy. Tactic number 9 is to anchor those habits. So link these new habits to things that you already do. So if you have a morning coffee, can you have a glass of water alongside it? Cooking dinner, can you make a double portion of that so you've got some leftovers for tomorrow or for next week to make your life a little bit easier? And then every meal, make sure you're having a glass of water with that. Brushing your teeth, do your pelvic floors or do some squats alongside it, because stacking those habits is what makes consistency stick. And number 10 is to switch from that I can't to I choose. So restriction will create rebellion. So instead of saying, well, I can't have that, say, I can have it, but I'm choosing not to right now because my goals matter more. And that tiny shift puts you in control. So that's what this channel will be all about. No more yo-yo dieting, no more good days and bad days. I hate those words around food. No more waiting until Monday or until the kids are older or until life slows down, because if we're being honest, it won't slow down. You know, most people thought the summer was crazy and now people are thinking, oh, September's the time for me. And I'm seeing it in my clients and people that I'm speaking to that actually, no, September's busy because the kids are going back to the clubs and you've got dinner to make at a certain time. And you know, you slip again to the bottom of the list. So I don't want you to do that. I'm here to help busy mums build strength, build confidence and energy and feel good in their bodies without sacrificing family meals, their social life or their sanity. And just like my clients, I know the more that I do this, the more content I create, the better I will get it, the more mums I'll be able to help. So if that sounds like what you need, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, let me know your biggest struggle. The link is going to be in the comments as well to find out more about coaching and the service that I offer. So head there, click the link, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.